And so you really want to make sure that the maintenance team not only understands the requests of the clients, goes to see them very quickly, and actually works on them. We understand sometimes it takes a little time to do what maybe a tenant would want, but at least the tenant knows we're working on it and they understand the hurdles we're facing to maybe get that done for them. But they don't feel like we didn't hear them. And so, really, those two things, screening the tenants up front and handling the service requests from the tenants, are really big, important drivers in the operating of the property.
Welcome to the Real Estate Pros Show, where we interview real estate investing professionals from coast to coast, as well as the service providers that serve the real estate investing industry. Our goal is simple: share what's working now to help you improve and scale your business to the next level and meet the pros that can help you get there. Real Estate Pros is powered by Investor Fuel, America's leader in helping real estate investors and professionals build the business you need to live the life you've always dreamed of. Let's start today's show. Property insurance for real estate investors doesn't have to be difficult, but it does need to be there to protect you when you need it. MyInvestorInsurance.com not only provides insurance at 15 to 30% cheaper than traditional agencies, it's built specifically for real estate investors like you. You can set up an account in about 2 minutes, get quotes on properties, turn on and turn off insurance for your fix and flip or rental properties in around 2 minutes without having to talk to anyone directly, all through our portal. There's no better way or faster way to make sure you've got the coverage you need to protect you, and no more lengthy policies either. Once you're set up, you're billed monthly and prorated by the day for however long your policy is active. It's powered by MSI, the third largest independent MGA, with 1.5 million customers and more than $1 billion in cumulative premiums written. Get set up today in about 2 minutes at myinvestorinsurance.com/fuel.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Investor Fuel podcast. I'm your host, Michelle Kessel, and today I'm joined by someone that I'm looking forward to chatting with, Matthew Karam, who's been making serious moves as a multi-family apartment investor. So excited to have you on the show today, Matthew.
Thank you for having me. I was looking forward to coming.
Yes, absolutely. I think our listeners are really going to take away how you're operating and identifying opportunities in your business. So let's dive in. First off, for those that are not familiar with you and your world, can you give the short version of what your main focus is?
Sure. So we are focused on investing in multifamily apartments, as you had indicated earlier. We focus on 100 units and up, and we really want to find value add opportunities that allow our investment to earn a good return and be able to justify increased rents for not only our property, but they're supported by the local market for those increases. So that's what we focus on generally.
Awesome. And what markets are you operating in?
So we have a couple markets that we like. One is Columbus, Ohio. That's a great, it's been a tremendous market for us in growth. And we have some other outlying markets that we look at, sometimes choose to get and participate in, such as Indianapolis and some other areas like that that are smaller. But if the right opportunity presents itself, then we like to participate. But we try to stay primarily in the Columbus, Ohio area.
Awesome. What are some of the main keys that have been instrumental in allowing your business to run smoothly?
Well, there's a lot of factors. Uh, Primarily, number one, operators. We really pride ourselves on doing a great job operating what we do acquire. And the importance of that is properties can be mismanaged very quickly, whether it's not screening the tenants properly. Um, some asset managers feel that, it's so important to have.
Stop living on an island and join the #1 mastermind in America for professional real estate investors. Investor Fuel is a community of hundreds of the nation's top investors working together to build stronger businesses and better lives. In addition to the amazing community of real estate investors acting as a board of advisors for one another, Investor Fuel members have access to 100% funding on purchase and repairs for our members only, a health insurance program, and benefits and discounts that more than pays for the membership of most of our members, meaning it's actually costing you money to not be a member of Investor Fuel. If you're looking to scale your business and build a business that allows you to live the life of your dreams, please visit investorfuel.com today and book a call with our team.
A high occupancy rate, that they really reduce that screening standard. And then they put in people that are really not the right fit for the property. And so consequently, then you have people that are not paying. You have an increased cost for evictions. You have an increased cost for attorneys to do that. While you're going through that process, depending on the state you're in, then you're also losing rent. And when those people do get evicted, even though you do get some kind of judgment, 9 times out of 10, those judgments are very hard to collect from. So we focus on making sure that we screen the tenants uh, right up front, and that's so important. And then secondarily, uh, one of the main reasons that tenants want to move out of an existing property is generally not because of the rent. It's because of repairs not being completed in their units. And so individuals that have an issue, the front door's not closing, or the screens broke out of the window, or anything of those type of things, your maintenance staff has to jump on those quickly, in our opinion, or the current folks, when it comes to renewal time, they start looking at other properties and other opportunities because their needs are not being met. So for retention and for keeping people in in your units, your maintenance team is critical. And so you really want to make sure that the maintenance team not only understands the requests of the clients, goes to see them very quickly, and actually works on them. We understand sometimes it takes a little time to do what maybe a tenant would want, but at least the tenant knows we're working on it, and they understand the hurdles we're facing to maybe get that done for them. But they don't feel like we didn't hear them. And so really those two things, screening the tenants up front and handling the service requests from the tenants, are really big, important drivers in the operating of the property.
Yeah, absolutely. The tenant level of satisfaction is so important. Are you personally managing the properties that you own?
We do hire a management team to do that. Um, we are very fond of a company generally called AMC Management, and they're a nationwide management company, and they do a tremendous job, in our opinion. Um, we're able to not only have AMC forecast what their expenses and what their income would be on a subject property before we buy it, um, and then we also, after we acquire it, then the plan that we put together pre-purchase, such as putting in new windows, putting in new refrigerators or kitchen appliances or cabinets or countertops, or any of the things that we decide that we need to do to upgrade the property. It's so important that the asset manager is on board. That schedule of assets and replacement has to be understood, number one, and number two, has to be carried out with good efficiency. So not only do they have to carry it out under a certain timeline, but we need them to carry it out under a certain budget. Okay. So, and they've done a tremendous job for us in those properties. And so, but it's real important that when you do have, when you hire asset management team like them or others, that you outline exactly what repairs you anticipate being done in the property.
If you're looking for consistent, high-quality leads, look no further than Investor Machine. Investor Machine isn't just another agency, it's the most sophisticated, data-driven lead generation company on the planet for real estate investors, and serves the role of being not just a lead generator for your business, but a marketing partner that is helping you achieve your goals along the way. Go to investormachine.com to learn more and schedule a call with our team today.
When those need done, what the budget is to get those done, we also ask the asset manager to go out into the marketplace and actually get bids to do those repairs so that we have a very good budget before the purchase. So if we are replacing kitchen appliances, countertops, and cabinets in a third of the units, as an example, we want not only estimates from 2 or 3 contractors to do that, but we also want the timeline, and we need that to be incorporated in the asset manager's plans. And in meeting with the asset manager like that, that they have one individual that's dedicated to make sure that plan is implemented and carried out. And so generally, we have a weekly meeting with that team in the beginning to make sure that the progress is being handled, that it's in budget, and that the timeline is still working. Um, and if we see a problem, then we address it with them very quickly. And if we have to send in a team of people, we will, just because that's critical for our investors' return, not only in the spend side, but also the return side, so that we meet our investment goals for the investors. So, no, we use a third-party management company, and we have vetted them very well, and they've done super for us over years.
That's great. Sounds like you
Yeah,
guys have, yeah, such a good support system. So you mentioned the investors that you work with. What does that look like for you? Are you partnering with other investors for the multifamily units? Would love for you to expand on what this partnership looks like.
sure. Yeah. So in our particular case, I used to own and still do medical malpractice insurance agency where we focused on servicing doctors and hospitals for their malpractice insurance. So consequently, the investors that we reach out to are generally physicians and medical type personnel, maybe nurses, and that type area, um, to help give them uh, an alternative to the stock market, right? So many people, uh, the stock market liquidity is tremendous, and the stock market offers a lot of upsides, but it doesn't make sense generally to put all your eggs in one basket. You really do want to diversify. And so, and if you can diversify into real estate, where it's an asset-backed class, and, it's clear that many millionaires in history have all had real estate as in their portfolio to make those retirement goals and aspirations attainable. Many of our physicians that we approach as investors have already owned some type of rental properties themselves. Many times they have a duplex or a quadplex or a single family home, and they've rented it out, and they start to see some of the difficulties in managing it. They These docs do not want to take calls at midnight because the toilet didn't work. They don't want to get a call about this or that, and the siding is this, or my front door's not latching, or all those things that a manager does. And depending on the size of the investment, if you own a duplex as a doctor, you have to manage it. There really is not enough profit to go to an asset manager to have them manage it, and then you really make much of a return. So that's part of our criteria. By being over 100 units, we could hire one dedicated repair person to maintain that property.
If you're a new or newer real estate investor looking to launch or grow your real estate investing business, please check out Investor Fuel Club. It's a coaching community, but unlike anything you've ever seen before. And you can actually partner with members of our mastermind from coast to coast on deals right in your market. There's no better opportunity to build a consistent business than to literally partner with pros to help you avoid costly mistakes, avoid the need for capital to do deals, and help you eliminate your fears as you're starting your business. Learn more about Investor Fuel Club at investorfuel.com/club.
We could hire one dedicated leasing agent so that they can rent the properties out and have them on property. So when you start hitting 100 and up, there's big economies of scale. And so what we try to have our investors understand is that this is a passive investment for you. You don't have to actively manage it. You're not going to get calls at night. And this is what you like the asset class of being backed by real estate. Let us do the hard work. Let us do the heavy lift, and you just collect the checks. And so that's what we want to do is offer to physicians that are interested in developing a steady stream of income that allows them to contribute to that retirement, build that nest egg up, but not have to actively do the renting and turning over units and painting walls and when tenants leave and screening tenants and doing all those things. So the investors that we go after or seek are physicians that generally have had rentals in their portfolio in the past, and then they understand what we're doing. They understand the service we're offering. So that's the clientele that we look for as investors.
Awesome. That is super cool. So you're only working with physicians, you're not working with other real estate investors?
No, we really just focus on physicians. Yeah.
Cool. So, what are you most focused on solving or scaling to next?
Well, our goal is to put in a better uh, investor education system to get more physicians to invest with us, because we find some opportunities that unfortunately at times we can't take advantage of them because we don't have the investors. So the biggest area we need to grow in is a good investor, not only awareness program, but an education program that allows them to understand why why we selected this asset class, why it's a great way to earn passive income, why it's so important that to get some, let's say, passive tax write-offs in the same breath, um, and earn that a good return, but without any active participation. And so we need to work on a system to better attract interest and educate those physicians of what we're doing. So when an opportunity does come up, that we can go to them and say, "Hey, we found a good one." We have to screen about um, 200 to 300 properties before we find one that will really meet our needs and the needs of the investors. So it takes time.
Wow. Yeah, absolutely. Sounds like a lot of work. So, to
It
understand your
is.
role better, are you just involved in the acquisition of the properties and the operations while the investors, you know, work on the investing piece?
Sure. So my background is in the past, I was, uh, uh, we owned a registered investment advisory firm. Excuse me. And for our wealthy, we used to manage about $1 billion in our RIA. And so I have considerable experience in investing for wealthy clients in assets. And so what I try to work on, and specifically for me, is designing that investor scenario that works for them, makes it attractive for them, and educate them, um, and try to bring that front end of the business in. Um, and my second role is really reaching out to potential sellers to see if they would have an interest in selling to us and working through them. And so primarily those are the two functions I serve daily. Um, and so that's the investor side, and on the acquisition side, identifying properties. Um, we have a team that does underwrite our properties, um, and comes back and gives us an idea of how we value them, how we see them. Other investors also do. They have different criteria than we do. So even though one investor may look at a property and say it's not a good opportunity, we could look at it and say it's a fabulous one, or vice versa. We could look at it and say, no, we don't like the numbers, we don't like the age, we don't like some of the other components, but another investor would. So that's what makes all of the investments unique. But my role is in the investors and the acquisition introduction of the properties.
Awesome. Got it. So, when it comes to creating new relationships, growing your network, what are some
Yes.
things that have made the biggest difference for you?
So that's what I'm glad you asked that question, Michelle. Um, We're still trying to figure that out, to be honest with you. Um, we have started originally with physicians that we wrote their medical malpractice insurance, and we gave them opportunities just to participate in the financial side. And so we already had a relationship, they already trusted us. And so it was a good base to start and grow. Um, and so now what we're trying to work on and figure out is, how do we make those relationships with the physicians that don't know us yet and don't trust us? And so we've researched doing some webinars. We've been effective at, we have a webinar that we host every Tuesday, one time a month, for new people. And we've had great attendance at those. And so that's one tool that we've been doing that has really turned out to be significant. Um, and so just this year as an example, in those, we've done 9 webinars this year for 2025, and we've had about 540 physicians attend those to at least learn more about our opportunity. Um, but we're still trying to improve that process.
Awesome. I love that webinar piece. I think that's such a good way to get the word out.
Yeah,
Great. So, before we wrap up here, if someone wants to reach out, connect, learn more from you, where can people find you and connect with you?
sure. So our website is kmacapital.com, and you can see some of the events we've hosted. We try to record some of them. If they're really good, we put them up there. And there's an email in there and a contact form and a phone number. And so if anyone's interested, or if anyone has a property they want to sell that's over 100 units in our territory, we'd love to speak to them. So either through the website, email, or phone call.
Awesome. Well, listen, I really appreciate your time, your story, and your perspective. So, thank you for being here.
Sure. Thank you for having us, and we really appreciate it and uh, enjoyed it. Thank you.
Of course. And for those listeners tuning in, if you got value from this, make sure you've subscribed. We've got more conversations coming with operators just like Matthew who are building real businesses. We'll see you on our next episode.
Thanks for joining us for today's Real Estate Pros Show. You can learn more about the amazing benefits of the Investor Fuel Mastermind community, including surrounding yourself with hundreds of other rock stars, 100% financing for your deals, and members-only discounts from vendors you're likely already using that, as a member of Investor Fuel, will save you more than the cost of your membership. Visit investorfuel.com to learn more. If you're interested in joining us as a guest of this show, please visit investorfuel.com/pros to apply. You can also check the show notes for access to free resources, how to get access to world-class lead generation, and much more. Don't forget to subscribe so you never miss another episode. Have a great day. We'll see you on the next show.